Welcome into Snow The Goalie, the only Flyers podcast, the People's Podcast, Players Podcast, Prognosticators Podcast, Pedialyte Podcast. We are live at the Snider Playoff Fantasy Draft. It is going way faster than a year ago. Bundy, Simo, and SanFilippo cannot join us tonight, but we are here and we stand in solidarity with Anthony SanFilippo, who's at a board meeting?
He's at a board meeting at Players Club of Sophomore. Right
He's at a board meeting.
He's with my mom as we speak.
Anthony's with Intern Andrew's mom.
Do with that information what you will.
I'm having laptop problems again, Russ, but anyway.
What happened?
I don't
He closed the laptop when he was having the grub, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll sneak you back in there. Anyway, we are here. It's the Snider Fantasy Draft. Last year we did this. We had no idea what to expect. It took an insane amount of time. I think we did a 3+ hour live stream.
Yeah, it was like 3:15.
And it was fun. People enjoyed themselves and everything, but it was a long night. So we were like, all right, well, we'll get down here a little bit early. We'll get set up. And then, we figured that 7 o'clock or so was going to be like round 2 because last year it took so long. We are almost through round 4. Intern Andrew's been tracking all the picks. Kevin Fiala was just taken in the 4th round. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff today. We could probably talk about this fantasy draft a little bit, but really,
Why don't we fill them in on who we've taken already?
Go ahead.
Okay, so first round we went with Braden Point from the Lightning. Back around.
Oh, hold on. We took Braden Point, and when Bundy told Coatsy goes, really going off the board there, huh?
off the board. Took Braden Point.
So it's the same fucking guy who said the Penguins are an original 6 team. So he's having a hell of a night out here.
He's having a little breakdown.
He's having
little short circuit.
So we're having some fun down here.
So we went Point, Tomas Hertl, Capitals goalies, and we just took Jake Chickerman from Caps.
So it's a snake draft. We had the number 10 pick. I think last year we had the number 1 or number 2.
We had 1, and we had Jesus.
We took Connor McDavid. McDavid didn't go until I think the 8th or 9th pick this year. He fell pretty far. No, he went to the 9th pick. He went right before we took Point. So
I think everyone thinks like this is finally going to be the Kings beat them.
Yeah,
and LA is at home for the first time, and they have the best home record in the league.
And don't forget, we would like to see Edmonton and Colorado both have an early playoff exit because that would then be better for those draft picks that the Flyers own in this upcoming draft. So you actively should be rooting against Edmonton and Colorado if you're a Flyers fan. So there's a lot to get into. There were some developments in the hockey world today that certainly are going to pique the interest of Flyers fans everywhere. I would say that the most notable one of the day, buddy, I can probably get you set up if you want. I think the biggest development that we saw across the hockey world as it pertains to the Flyers was the press conference that the Vancouver Canucks had, in which Vancouver said, listen, we have had conversations with Rick Tocchet. We know that there's a team option that Vancouver holds or held, and they decided that they're not going to pick up they're not going to pick up the team option for Tocchet's contract, which effectively makes him a free agent coach. They said that they hope to have his decision by the end of the week. But the most notable comment from that availability about Tocchet was, we hope he'll sign here, but it's kind of hard to pick up that team option when he might have his mind somewhere else. And people took that line and they said, oh, does that mean he's eyeing up the Flyers job? Does that mean he's eyeing up another job? Are you surprised to hear an executive say something like that, Bundy, that he might have his mind elsewhere?
Possibly, yeah, and maybe they know something that's going on. I don't know what the whole situation with if you're allowed to talk about it, if he knows there's an opportunity to come here. So there's a lot of things you can't really put the cart before the horse. Right now, but Rick Tocchet is a Philadelphia Flyer. Like when you look at his career and think of his career, you think about the Philadelphia Flyers. He's a Hall of Fame member here. He's been a coach that's established himself in this league. He wasn't up and comer before, but he's not now. So I don't know, Russ. I don't know. I mean, there'll be a lot more things coming across the pike as we move along here, but certainly there's going to be ties between Rick Tocchet and the coaching availability here in Philadelphia. I don't think there's any way around that for where we're at right now.
The concern, I think some of the concerns that people have right now are valid. So Tocchet's 61. Not that that's an issue, but he's 61 and in his coaching career has made the playoffs twice. It's not as if he brings to town some extensive history of playoff appearances, and it's not as if, and I've made this comparison a few times, but in a Torts, you had a guy that, yes, it was 2 decades ago, but had won a cup. Prior to that, you had Alain Vigneault, who had made multiple cups, had taken teams on those deep runs. Tocchet has not done that yet. Now, it doesn't mean that Tocchet is not a good coach. It doesn't mean that he's not worthy of consideration. There were some murmurings around Pittsburgh that maybe that job could become available. There was another Western Conference team today that announced
the Kraken, right?
The Kraken fired their coach.
Bilesma.
And so then there's a question of, could he potentially want to just stay out west? And there's another opportunity. If you were a free agent coach right now, Bundy, like if you were in Tocchet's position, knowing what Vancouver has,
I would never want to be a coach of a Canadian team if I had an opportunity to coach somewhere else. If I'm Rick Tocchet and there's 10 teams that want me as a coach, I'll never sign in Vancouver. I don't want to take the plane rides. I don't want to deal with the travel. I don't want to deal with the guys that already are whiny little bitches. Because they did. I mean, listen, they had a fight in the locker room. They between Pettersson and JT Miller.
Yeah. Which they kind of addressed in that press conference today, too.
I've seen locker room quarrels before.
Yeah.
But to a point where, everyone's like, oh, they had good years last year and this and that. I was like thinking to myself, how do you not call guys in the room and just fix that situation? And they say, oh, they respected each other as players and teammates. No, they didn't. No, they didn't at all because that team sucked this year.
Yeah.
They went from the best team in the West to out of the playoffs this year.
Yep.
Something went really wrong in Vancouver this year, and it looked like something that could have been repaired.
So then let me ask you, because so one of the concerns that I have is that situation, and you think about players have a certain role in it, right? They obviously do. They're the ones who are ultimately the ones involved in whatever happened. How much of that falls to a coach? Like how much of if you are okay, so in that situation, there's whatever happens between Miller and Pettersson. Ultimately, the organization decides we have to trade one of these guys. There's no way to resolve that internally. Do you put any of that at the feet of the coaching staff for not being able to get that smoothed over or nipping that in the bud before it comes to whatever happened between those two? Do you say players are players and it doesn't matter who the coach is? If shit's going to hit the fan, it's going to hit the fan. Where do you land?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both, but it's just very, very strange in the world that we live in today that two guys couldn't rectify their relationship, whether they had the GM or the coach or whoever it was trying to mitigate that in really, really bizarre situation. And of course it was going to be Miller. If you had to move one of the two, it had to be Miller. You couldn't move Pettersson's contract based on the way he played this year and what he makes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, $12.5 million for a guy that went from however many
points. He had 100-plus points 2 years ago, I think.
What, 40?
I don't think it was that. Well, it was a drastic dip. I don't know if
it was a massive dip. I don't know what he had, but he had how many points did Pettersson have, Andrew?
I'll look it up.
Look at him. He's only got one hand to type with right now. He's doing like the SanFilippo poking the keyboard with the index finger. Put the two hands on the keyboard and
he had
did he have 60 something?
45.
He had 45? In how many games played?
64.
Wow. That's bad. That's bad, very
65
bad.
points?
No, he had 45 points in 64 games.
Yeah, I told you. 40,
that's awful. I didn't realize 40. It was that
bad. It's that bad.
And he was a minus 10 on the year as well.
Wow.
15 goals, 30 assists.
I don't care about the minus 10. I do care about the lack of scoring. Here. Hold on. Go down.
We'll see if we can get Bundy back into this.
Not there. It's already logged on. I don't really care.
Well, it thinks that you're connected. All right. We're going to get you there.
All right.
Don't worry. We'll get you there.
Thanks.
Anyway. So the Tocchet thing happens. Also in that weird press conference, we had an arguably even stranger thing. Hit that. We had an even stranger thing happen in the hockey world, which is in the midst, now open a new tab. In the midst of that press conference, we also find out about Quinn Hughes. And Quinn Hughes' name comes up. And Vancouver says, well, he might want to go play with his brothers.
All three of them going to be together in New Jersey?
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. He might play with his brothers. And so it's up to the player. But then he said, well, then again, maybe we bring the brothers here. And it's there is not a chance in hell that Vancouver is going to be able to get those guys out there.
Maybe Luke, but definitely not Jack.
Yeah, there's no chance. And then I forget who it was sitting next to him on the dais or whatever, on the stage, said tampering. And he goes, all right, well, we're just going to leave it at that. But that feels like an organization that you want to get the hell away from, does it not? What a goddamn, between the Tocchet thing, because here's the other part of the Tocchet thing was that he said, we're negotiating And he said that they have taken the negotiations to a place that no coach has ever had in Vancouver, implying that they are offering more money to Tocchet than they ever have before. And so it's like, all right, you can't get the coach to commit, and you're talking about your best player potentially leaving if he ultimately decides he wants to go play with his brothers. It just seems nuts. That's an organization you want to run from. You can't run fast.
100%.
Run away fast enough.
That's what looked like the way the team played this year. It looked like they had dysfunction within their organization, right? Yeah. Everywhere, and every single facet you could possibly imagine. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of investigating to do with the Vancouver Canucks because that thing went way off the rails.
Yeah.
You don't go from a team like they had last year overnight to a pathetic team the next year.
And they just fired their coach like 2 years ago, didn't they? Was it Trotz?
Switch? It wasn't Trotz.
Trotz, or who didn't they fire somebody like in the middle of the year, like 2 years ago?
That wasn't the Boudreaux thing.
Well, it was Boudreaux.
Oh, Boudreaux.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Bruce
Okay. I had the wrong bald guy.
Yeah. Well, listen. Don't be a baldist, okay?
I got him confused. But I remember it, and it was in the middle of the season,
and
wasn't
it pissed everybody off, and then
Yeah.
it pissed off like the national media, and a lot of the pundits were like, "How could you treat a guy like that who has as much equity or whatever in the league, has this much built up money in the bank or whatever, to do that to him?" Now, this is an interesting one from Tony Lou. He says, "I'd like a newer age coach. It's nothing against Tocchet. Carl and Fedorov are the two best available, in my opinion. But Fedorov wouldn't come here, and Carl isn't leaving Denver." The other name that keeps coming up is Ferschweiler from Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Now, he, to me, is an interesting one. Listen, first of all, I don't think Carl, it was put out, I think Kevin Kerr's put out, he's over there, I'll ask him, we can ask him, that Carl's not even being really considered seriously by the Flyers. I think it's just as much that he has no interest in this job.
Carl?
Yeah, I don't see any scenario. So if you're Carl, right, he's 35, has a young family from what I remember reading. You don't want to upend your family, uproot your family from a very good situation in Denver, come across the country.
Yeah, but they're going to pay him.
Well,
but it's a whole different level of money making at the NHL. If he's going to go, coaches are making some $5 million a year.
Yeah, but he's going to be a highly sought after coach, and there are going to be positions in this league that might be more enticing, more attractive. And at 35 years old, he's not up against it. I mean, he could just go back to Denver, have another good season, maybe a job that you don't expect to opens up with a team that's a better situation. I just don't think he comes here. The Rangers could be in an interesting job. It's a hell of a market. You're probably going to get paid beaucoup bucks. I just don't think maybe he stays out west. Maybe one of these Western jobs appeals to him. I don't know. But Ferschweiler is an interesting one. He's 54.
Yep.
He's been coaching at the collegiate level. He knows how to communicate with this modern player that, right? You're not worried about, what some would call like a dinosaur coach, not willing to meet the players where they are now. Bundy, I know that the Hackstall thing didn't work out here. Would you be afraid of hiring a college coach potentially because of how things didn't work out here with Hackstall previously?
I think the way that the modern hockey player or the modern athlete has changed, I don't think you can necessarily have a guy who just played in the NHL as hard old school type of coach, that doesn't want to hear from. I think that you have to have a communication. Now, even if it's not warranted, these guys want to talk. They want to hear about how they're playing, how they're doing. And to be honest with you, the way that Torts coached this team, you can't have a guy coaching a team like that.
No.
I've talked to GMs this year about that. I didn't mention Torts, but guys that I played with, friends of mine now that are GMs of teams, and they don't want guys like John Tortorella in that mindset anymore with the way they have these modern age players.
So BU's coach, Jay Pandolfo, do you think he has any interest in leaving BU to go to the NHL?
Well, he might, but I think he's been in the NHL before as an assistant that took the BU job. So he'll be coming back. Again, it's what have you done for me lately? Well, who's the sexiest looking thing, right? You get to the Final Four, and all of a sudden you see this coach, that coach, his team's in the Final Four. Everybody gets all excited over it. But, I mean, if you watch college hockey, it's good. The teams that were there were good. But, my God, the difference between that game and the NHL game is light years.
Insane.
It's total. I mean, the time and space. I was trying to picture myself at 53 being on the ice in a college game. I would have actually had time and space to make a play. Yeah. NHL, there's no time and space.
Okay.
So, but it's a totally different game, and I think that I've never seen the college ranks and the players involved get as hyped up as I have this year. And again, maybe that's because of social media and everything going on in the world, but
I also think now, because of what NIL is doing for college athletics, that I think the NCAA is more of a sexy destination for some of these up-and-comers than playing junior somewhere.
Yeah.
There's also that possibility.
Yeah, you're right. But there's some guys that I don't know how the NIL works with college hockey. It's not the same league as college football.
No, of course not.
It's not flowing in yet, but eventually it could.
It could, it could.
But you get like programs like Michigan State, for example, that have big football programs. They are one of the leaders in the clubhouse in NIL among college hockey teams. So Michigan State is going to be getting some primetime talent here in the coming years. Just watch.
Superfan Eric, also known as the Concerned Fan, checks in over on YouTube. Says my top choice for head coach is Todd Nelson, followed by Jay Woodcroft. Thoughts?
If I knew who they were, I would.
I'm not sure that either of them gets an interview.
Todd Nelson, he's been around a little bit. Jay Woodcroft was here in training camp as an invite from the organization to kind of watch camp. I have no opinion of either guy, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay. Sean C. says, in terms of guys with connections to the Flyers and their front office, Pat Ferschweiler is 100 times more intriguing of an option than Rick Tocchet. So it'll be interesting. There was a point that somebody brought up a little bit earlier. Where is it at? Here it is. Zilla092 says, bottom line is no one will be happy with whoever Danny hires. Flyers fans are never happy. I mean, in fairness, it is very hard to get this fan base in lockstep on anything, right? Like, you're at a point now, I mean, Philadelphia fans are kind of like that in general, but like with Howie, right? There have been critics, there have been people who have questioned certain moves. You win a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden a lot of that subsides because you found the ultimate success. The idea of being able to go out and get a coach that's going to have 100% approval rating, it's non-existent. The only guy that I think probably would have gotten a very high approval is like a Brindamore if Carolina were to flame out, but that's it. Most of these other guys, like regardless of if they're a good coach or not, or they're a good fit or not, there is going to be half the fan base that's going to be pissed off. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to be upset when they find out that Carl doesn't get an interview or that he doesn't ultimately get the job. There are people who just believe that Comcast as a corporation should throw like $10 million his way because there are people that are convinced that he is like the second coming of name your favorite coach.
My favorite coach?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Laviolette when he was here.
No, I was saying like one that's won. Like a coach that's won cups.
Lavi won
but I mean, I'm like multiple cups, like a
John Cooper.
Dominant. Let's get another Cooper.
In a perfect world, that'd be great. But, the old saying is when you try to please everyone, you please no one. So
correct.
You just got to do what you got to do.
Hey, you mentioned Lavi. Any chance Lavi gets an interview?
No chance. No.
Wow.
He's the wrong coach for the wrong team at the wrong time. Yeah. No offense.
Do you think it'd be like another Torts?
No, I just think he wants to coach a certain team. He has to have a talented team. And he did, and he actually blew it there. He likes to coach offense. He doesn't like to talk about defense at all. He likes to try to get his star players to really get going. And he does a good job of that, motivating guys for a short period of time. But, man, the Rangers stuff went off the rails so bad this year. I don't know what could have been done there. But he looked like he had his hand in on all of that. You can't go from the top team like they were to where they ended up this year unless something in the coaching department went wrong as well as the
I think
players.
he was made a scapegoat, though. They should have cleaned house. Drury has somebody's ear in ownership.
Well, for sure.
It just seems
the fact he still has a job is kind of laughable as it is. Yeah. I don't care if it went to Harvard or not.
Let's see. Could Ian LaPerriere get a look? Could Rocky Thompson get an interview for head coach? No. Okay.
I would probably say no to that.
Maybe just for fun.
Rocky?
Lappy will probably get an interview.
You think so?
Sure.
Okay.
Danny's friend.
Yeah.
He's had an opportunity for years. Yeah.
Would you consider yourself Danny's friend? Would you like an interview for
I
head
don't
coach?
want an interview. I don't know. I have 4 kids and I'm 4 for 4. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go 4 for 5. And in the world we live in today, there's a really good chance I'd go 4 for 5.
I would.
Do you want to tell the Coatsy penis joke while we're here, or no? No, nobody wants to tell the Coatsy.
Coatsy does love a penis joke or two, no matter when he holds court. I think I've heard that penis joke 50 times now.
That one might have gotten him canceled if they had been live streaming the event.
That was 4 years ago. He'd have been on a short list of cancellation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There've been a few of
and
those.
It was a real belligerent, like,
yeah.
It was rough.
I will say, just going back to Bundy being the coach real fast, the first time that a reporter asked you a stupid question, I would just love to see what your response was in the press conference at the end of the game.
If you were a coach.
I wouldn't want to be like Torch.
Here's your
Oh, we lost you.
question.
I think we lost you.
No,
There you
no.
go. Okay.
No, you
I wouldn't want to be like that.
Seals came into the National Hockey
He's still
League
talking
in
about the-
Oh, he's doing trivia.
1967, But they moved to what city? They were already in Oakland.
Who's he talking about?
The California
Golden
Seals.
Where did the California Golden Seals end up
Nope.
when they left Oakland?
Well, they're defunct now, aren't they?
We don't want to spoil it for the people here who
No,
are
but if
listening
you
to the
wanna-
live show.
We're going to probably have to go through every city in America here.
Ah.
I'll give
Anybody
you a
wants to
hint,
put
it's
it
not
up, go
Canadian
ahead.
City.
Did they end up in
No.
Hartford? No, Hartford came from the W.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to give you a hint, okay? What's that? Cleveland.
Somebody said Cleveland. All right, so
They
it's
played
Cleveland.
hockey in Cleveland?
Cleveland should make
Cleveland
sense as a
Barons.
hockey city. It's cold. It's miserable. Perfect for
You
hockey.
said that?
They never win.
Hold on.
All right. Let's
Hold on.
see.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Tell you what we're going to do, Russ.
Well, I was gonna.
My
pull-
We
laptop's
have
not
that extra
working.
one.
Yeah.
That gentleman
And,
made a
you gonna
selection.
smash it?
So
I might.
Smash it for the
Thinking about
views.
it. Thinking about smashing it.
Yeah.
we honor things like this, okay?
There's a question
Hold
in the
on.
comments for you, Bundy.
I didn't know it was that.
It says Philly Sports Experts says Bundy. I don't know if you've had a chance to follow some of the top prospects for this year's draft. Is there a player that stands out to you? Someone who you think the Flyers should really go after?
I was familiar with that James Hagens.
Mhm.
I coached against him
We
when
all
my
set?
son played for the little local
One
AAA
more?
Comcast or whatever they were a few years ago. He was a really good player. I think
One
he
more?
slipped a little bit from the
Okay.
top heading. I don't know a lot of these young kids. I don't have a lot of time to watch junior or hockey elsewhere in Europe,
Who did the
middle of the
Flyers
night.
play
So I don't have a lot of familiarity. I'll
in the
start picking up on it a little bit.
1997
I'm
Stanley
sorry.
Cup?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I just don't
Right
have a
here.
lot
We got it
on
right
any
here.
of the young kids.
I think Intern Andrew's actually been doing a lot of film study.
I have.
So, intern,
I'll pose the question, though. Does it concern you that the last time we took somebody from Boston College in the first round didn't really work out?
who was that?
I think his real name's William.
No,
That's his government name.
No, I'm not sure about that one. No, nothing rings a bell.
No.
Nothing rings a bell that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alfredo
Okay.
selects
All right.
Colorado
Draft is back
Avalanche,
on.
Jonathan
We are at pick.
That's a good one.
We're in the fifth round. Who did they just take?
Jonathan Drouin from the Avs. So I'll
Interesting
tell you
pick.
who I'm thinking right now.
Who are you thinking?
I don't want to go with another capital because we already have two.
Okay.
I'm thinking among teams that we think are going to make this second round, could possibly make a run at the conference final. Hurricanes and Kings.
Mhm.
Carolina.
Was
Jack Roslovic is still available.
Was Kopitar taken?
And I was going to say the Kings Kopitar is available
I think Kopitar.
until literally
Never
right
get
there.
Anze Kopitar.
Motherfucker. Like, there it goes.
I'll tell you who had 24 goals this year for the Los Angeles Kings. Warren Fogle, still available.
Mm.
Could be potentials
from the
there.
Dallas Stars, Wyatt Johnson.
Let me ask a
Wyatt
question.
Johnson from the Dallas Stars.
Johnston off the board.
What would you guys think
River Rock Academy.
About
ready to go as
taking-
always.
Andre Kuzmenko?
Tom Wilson.
Huh? Huh? Andre Kuzmenko, good guy.
You know who's available for the Maple Leafs?
Who's that?
Scott
You gotta
Lawton.
have- excuse me,
We are not taking Scott Lawton
You gotta have
under no
grit
circumstances.
to play this game. Balls. Okay.
By the way, what a cool moment.
You gotta have
What?
balls.
What are you staring at?
Who got taken after Johnston?
Trying to clean it up a little bit.
Tom Wilson.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Wilson's off the board.
We weren't going to take another.
We weren't going
anyway.
to take him anyway. Interesting moment in the playoffs last night. Lawton and Giroux bumping into each other. You're getting to watch two guys that used to
Oh
wear,
yeah, they really went at each other.
two guys that used to wear letters on their sweaters in Philadelphia going head to head. Flyers haven't made the playoffs in 5 years. You can kind of understand why there's some urgency within this organization to get themselves back into contention, back into
What's that?
some version of relevancy.
Time's called. Time's called.
What are we calling time for?
I'll also say this, Bundy. If
It was just like a 15-minute break, and they need how do you need time? What are you doing?
I think Brett Howden from Vegas is still available as well. That could be that's potential. So those are my nominees right now. I would say Howden, Roslovic, and Fogel.
Okay. Jared Fogle
No, definitely not
from
him.
Subway.
He's in jail.
Yeah, we should.
I mean,
should not.
like I'm looking at the Maple Leafs. There's a significant drop off after their number 5. Their 6th leading goalie is Bobby McMahon.
Who are you referring to?
The Maple Leafs.
Ah, the Leafs. Good team.
So like they have great first 5, and then it's drop off. So I don't know if we want to. I think Nick Paul from the Lightning is available. He had 22 goals this year.
Okay.
Those are my nominees.
Was how do we think Winnipeg is going to do?
Oh, I forgot about them actually.
How do we think Winnipeg's going to do, Bundy?
Winnipeg, I think they're good.
Was
think they can get
was
to the second,
Velarde
third
taken?
round.
Who's that?
Velarde.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm looking at a potential value sheet coming back into the lineup.
Lane Hudson.
He's very high on this list of people who haven't been taken yet.
The Montreal Canadiens.
I think Perfetti's available as
I
well.
don't know how he can help you with 4 games.
Let me look at something real quick.
And Gabriel Velarde, 27 goals this year. Okay, good call.
I think that's the guy to go after.
Nick Ehlers,
Velarde.
Double points.
From who?
Winnipeg.
Where? Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in Winnipeg that's available?
So I said Perfetti's available. Nikolai Ehlers is available. And then after that, it's Niederreiter, Adam
I don't
Lowry.
hate the idea of Ehlers.
Dallas forward, Matt Duchene.
Matt Duchene. Solid veteran.
Picks away.
So Velarde's the best goal scorer available.
The only problem that we have is that Ehlers and Velarde are both out, and Ehlers is week to week right now. Yeah, he's week to week.
Okay, well then no, never mind.
So you can't consider him. Velarde is skating with a non-contact jersey right now.
Okay, well it's a good thing you.
So he.
knew
Well,
that.
I'm saying, so he might be a guy that we try to get like later.
There goes Perfetti.
Okay.
All right.
Who'd you take?
I would say now either Jack Roslovic or Warren Fogle.
Hey, was that
What about a guy like
okay.
did Pierre-Luc Dubois get taken?
He got taken.
Okay.
How about did Ekholm get taken
Hello.
He's not playing
for the first round?
I think that's foolish.
From the Vegas Golden Knights, Noah Hannafin.
Hannafin.
Noah Hannafin.
Or you could go Brett Howden.
From the Vegas Golden
Give me a pick.
Knights.
Was Sander?
Give me a good pick.
Take Jack Roslovic. Yeah, from Carolina.
Snowy the goalie.
He scored yesterday.
Coatsy still can't figure it. It's 3 fucking words. Snow the gosh. Snowy the goalie. Call him Snoatsy.
Carolina, Jack Roslovic.
Ooh, Jack Roslovic.
He hasn't gotten lippy since the since the point pick.
He learned to shut his mouth, didn't he?
Ah.
That's good. He scored yesterday, Bundy.
Not
We're getting those
Oh.
points retroactively.
Morgan.
Okay. Bundy, I was saying he hasn't really given us any sass since the point thing.
We took Braden Point with the 10th pick.
Ah, really went off the board there.
So who are we supposed to take?
Who
I mean,
got
if
taken?
we like Tampa.
We did.
Tampa's
We
gonna
love
advance, So
Tampa.
you have to take who you think is going to be their top scorer. We
After-
couldn't get Kucherov because he went before Point.
Correct. I'm looking to see. McDavid got taken before point, like the pick before. There was also Nylander got taken after our pick of point. Ovechkin got taken. Yeah, like I don't know. You know what? This is bad.
Alrighty, now
I shouldn't have
John
done this.
Morgan,
We're letting it get in our
St. Louis
head.
Blue.
We got to be better than that.
Kyrou.
Jordan Kyrou.
Kyrou. All right. Not Caillou. I hate Caillou.
I think he's the only blue that's been taken so far.
I'm telling you, man. I hate Caillou, man.
Okay.
I did
That
too.
kid's always crying, man.
Couldn't stand
Is
it.
there only 8 rounds? There is, huh?
I think so. Which means we have 3 rounds, three picks left. Tom asks, "Is that Steve Coates in the background?" It sure is.
It is.
He is in
And
rare
boy,
form.
is it.
We cannot confirm that he was not pre-served before the event tonight.
Yeah. Tom asks, "What the hell is this?" We are at the Snider Hockey Fantasy Playoff Draft. It's a mouthful. We did this last year. We were asked to come back again this year. Lovely people having us here. Set up at Brooklyn Bowl.
We wanted
If you're
to
in Fishtown,
we want to include the fans with us.
that's right.
So we just, it's basically just a night to hang around. If you're sitting around your laptop or your TV screen, just hang out, relax, enjoy the show.
Well, last year, so it's funny
Put the
too.
hockey game on your TV.
Last year they shared the spreadsheet with us because it's on. I can see it's on Office 365. Like it's not hard. And then Bundy goes over to somebody and said, "Hey, can you share it?" They're like, "No, it's going through the projector."
It was
It's
a
like,
hard no.
It's
Yeah.
like that's not
they
how
were
that
nice
works.
about it.
It's like
though.
just share it. Like just share
Yeah,
it.
they
to an
shared
email.
it with a lot last year.
But this year, maybe they were worried. Maybe they thought Intern Andrew was rigging the selections last year.
Yeah.
They're like, how the hell did these people get all the best players? How did Snow the goalie do that?
That's sus, as the kids would say.
Please don't ever say that again. Like never again. So here's a question. We've talked about a bunch of different coaching candidates. One guy that we haven't really talked about, but you're off screen, by the way. It's just your leg.
I'm nice and relaxed right now. I feel like I'm on my couch.
Do you want a couple of pillows behind you?
It would be nice, actually, with a couple pillows.
Andrew, go lay behind Bundy. You're a
Come
human
lay
pillow.
behind so I can...
A body pillow.
Very sneaky good player.
Does Bradshaw get a look?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Guys like him, right? So if the players say they like him and they have a good rapport with him, why not? I mean, certainly he's been here. He's done a good job by all accounts. I don't think there's a problem at all having him there. Absolutely not.
he's not going to cost you a lot either.
No.
I mean, relative to what some of these other guys might.
Right.
And
He's
so
been here. He's got a familiarity with what you're trying to do, what your messaging has been.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any problem at all giving him a look.
Are you ever hesitant, though, just based on the history of the league, about guys that were made interim coach that end up getting extended? It's not the most common thing to see those guys go on to find a ton of success in their careers. It does seem like a lot of times those interim then hired as head coach don't have a very long shelf life.
They do. It just depends on the team. Because usually when a guy's named interim, you fired a coach.
Yeah.
And you've replaced him with the guy that was just there for how many games left. The problem is if you fired a coach, your team's probably not very good. So if you name the interim the head coach, he's basically inheriting, with a few tweaks, the same team that he had from the previous spring. And
It happened with Ruby, though, right?
He was interim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
they-
interim.
yeah.
Got the head tag.
This is an interesting one from Zilla. Zilla092 says, does cost matter to them, though, honestly, considering it's Comcast? It's not like it counts against the cap. Despite the fact that the Flyers are a Comcast-owned entity, they don't want to have $15, $20 million on the books if they keep firing coaches. In fact, like if you go back to this time last year when we talked about if Tortorella would remain here beyond this season, the number one thing that Ant kept kind of bringing up is they already owe a lot of money. Are they going to want to fire Torts, have to continue paying him a lot of money, and then bring in another high-priced coach? And it felt like internally the idea was like, no, it doesn't matter that Comcast is this multi-billion-dollar corporation or whatever. They still have to run a business, and they don't want to keep making mistakes that are going to cost them a lot on the coaching front.
Yeah, but we said
Steelers
he's
is
hurt.
week to week.
Oh, he's week to week.
He's week to week.
All right, let me dig again here. There's got to be somebody in Florida or something. Not Florida, but like a Tampa player.
Nick Paul is the best available Lightning right now.
We don't like Dallas, right?
Not particularly, no. I with Heiskanen and Robertson both out, I think they're cooked.
But if they were to
All
continue,
right, boys.
Granlund is available, isn't he?
We have
That
arrived.
sounds right, yeah.
Granlund might not be a bad pick. All right, listen, I know it's a fucking awful idea.
Who did you take?
I hate myself for actually saying it as a possibility.
Oh, Lindell. Okay.
Is Shane Gostisbehere worth a look?
He's taken.
He's taken?
Yes.
Who took him?
I have no idea, but I have it
Okay.
written down.
Did the team that took him have to trade draft picks just to move his money off the cap? Or
They
no?
did, yes.
They did, okay. Good job, Chuck.
What about Philip Danault?
He's available.
His points like this year.
Did Taylor Hall get taken?
Yes, he did.
Wow. We could go with my favorite guy in the playoffs right now, Ivan Demidov.
Danault was 8-35 this year.
Mm.
If you
Andre Kuzmenko, top line player.
I
He's
was joking.
available.
I was joking about him.
Warren Fogle is the best available kid.
How do you
right
feel
now.
about Minnesota? No. Okay.
Fogle, Quentin Byfield as well is available. I like him.
If we, I don't like.
What about Yanni Gord?
He's available, but his numbers were not very good this year.
Playing with Point and Kucherov.
Okay. I mean, he had 7 goals. Oh, he only
I
played
could get
57
behind- Did
games.
Druin get
How many
taken?
points did he have?
Did Druin get taken or no?
Giroux did not.
No, Druin.
Oh, Druin, yes.
He did get taken.
Yanni Gord.
Did Doughty get taken?
No, but we're not taking him.
Okay. Oh.
Yanni Gord was 7 goals, 24 assists in 57 games.
What about
Seth Jones is taken.
Seth Jones. Okay.
All right, let's see. Let me pitch an idea
We
here.
go to the Snider Babes now.
Hey, defenseman.
Okay.
Maybe this isn't a good one. I mean, he'll be in the playoffs for a long time. I just don't know if he. He's not a big point producer, but like, did Pietrangelo get taken?
Petrangelo's available.
Pietrangelo might not be a bad one.
We already have a defenseman.
I think you need 2, don't you?
Do we?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Who has the email?
I was never emailed.
I didn't get an email. Bundy had an email. I'll see if I can find the Bundy email.
I don't think we took 2 defensemen last year.
You don't think so?
No.
So from the Florida Panthers,
Oh.
we're going to take Gustav Forsling.
Oh, a lot of reaction to Forsland.
Forsling.
Lot of reaction. Ekblad was taken, right?
He was taken.
Okay.
He's suspended the first 2 games, though.
That's fine. Who cares?
We move on now to Fort Coverings International.
We're probably going to have to take somebody that.
Yes, he did.
Boy, working Mia tonight.
What were you saying, Russ?
I was going to say, like, at some point we might have to consider taking somebody on a team that we don't believe in.
Hey, what about Matthew Nyes?
He was taken.
I have a comment. Did we not take a
Was Connor McDavid?
Anyone know if McKinnon was taken?
Okay, you took Matthew. Okay,
Verhaeghe got taken.
Yes.
you took the winner.
Was Zach Hyman taken?
Yes.
Do we consider a devil, even though we don't
What
think
about Alex Iafallo?
He's available.
He might be the pick. He's playing with Scheifele and Connor.
Let me see that.
Okay. Yeah, 15 goals this year. Not bad.
How many assists?
Tyler Seguin from Dallas. Tyler
Here's the
Seguin,
thing.
He had 16 assists.
big time scorer.
You might have to go with a guy from a team that you don't think is going to have as long of a playoff run, but is going to burn bright while he's still in the playoffs.
Well, I don't know that the Devils have anyone like
The
that.
Tolls,
'Cause, I mean,
coming
Hughes
off
is
an
hurt.
outstanding pick of
What
the
about, did that kid from Montreal get taken, Demidov?
No.
Demidov hasn't gotten taken.
I think Hudson's the only hab that's been off the board.
Demidov or Caulfield.
Caulfield was taken. I'm sorry.
he?
Yes.
Pick, the Tools choose Avs center Charlie Coyle.
Charlie Coyle.
Was Hagel taken?
Yes.
Was he?
Yes, he is.
What
From
about
the
Sorelli?
Boston
He was
Bruins,
taken.
got traded. Big guy.
Was
I
he
really
sheer?
like Charlie Coyle.
No, he was not.
We don't want that. I don't
No,
think
not
the Devils
that
are going to
much.
last 5 games.
Don't get out of hand.
So what do you think, Bundy? You want Yanni Gord? You want Ali
Scott
Follow?
Lawton.
Scott Lawton?
Make the pick.
What about this Jackson
Morgan?
Blake playing
All
on the
right,
top line
not
with
John Morgan.
Sebastian
LA King
with Jarvis?
defenseman Drew
Carolina.
Doughty.
What's his name?
Another good one.
Jackson Blake?
Jackson Blake.
I mean,
Former Norris Trophy
He's
you
winner.
want to go back-to-back Hurricanes?
He's a rookie. Oh, who cares? Fuck it. There we go. Take him. Top line.
Jackson Blake
Carolina?
was 17
Or
and
do you want-
17
or do
this
you
year.
want- do you want Iafallo?
Snow The Goalie.
I feel better about the Hurricanes than I do the Jets
yeah,
this
take
year.
Jackson Blake. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear him shit on this pick. It's a rookie.
We will take from Carolina Jackson Blake.
That's a good sign.
Ooh, some anger.
That's a good
in the-
sound.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey.
That's good.
Good fucking.
We
pick.
stole someone's pick.
Yeah.
So we hedged ourselves because we have 2 Capitals and we have 2 Hurricanes now.
Yeah.
So when they face each other, we know 2 of them.
It's gonna be a long series too.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not the worst idea.
Okay. So how many more picks do we have left? Is it 1 or 2?
Two.
We have 2 left. Okay.
We think 2.
It'll be a while though.
Be right back.
It's been a while since I heard.
Selects.
Zilla asks, is Logan Stankoven on the board? No.
Brett
He was
Burns,
taken.
big-time
He's been gone
defenseman,
for a
came from
while.
San Jose.
Um,
Offensive threat for the Carolina Hurricanes. Great coach and Rod Brind'Amour.
So I have Vegas, Washington, Carolina, Colorado, Tampa, LA, Toronto, Winnipeg, all of their stats up right now. Is there another team you want me to look into?
Philadelphia Flyers.
say those again.
Hello.
Vegas, Washington, Carolina, Colorado, Tampa, LA, Toronto. Oh, Do I? No, I don't.
Did you get that,
Colorado,
Kelly?
Tampa, LA, Toronto, Winnipeg. Is there another team that we should be looking into?
No.
We don't even bother with Florida. You don't think?
Alex Petrangelo from the
Nah.
Las Vegas.
That was one I considered. See, the thing is,
Yeah.
so I think we erred in this draft. I will go on record,
You think Hedman?
and people can rip me, but I think that taking the Washington goalies over Hedman was a mistake.
Hold on, I got to say.
Maybe, but I was hitting
You people were like, "Oh, you can't take two people from the same team."
I was hitting the panic button because I was afraid we were going to get stuck with really bad
If
goalies.
you're scared, get a dog. Here's the thing.
How would that have
Hedman-
helped us in this draft?
Hedman is maybe going to be the top scoring
Close enough,
defense,
right?
one of the top scoring defense. McCarr will be
We'll
the
just
top.
call him Alex.
Hedman will be one of the top, and you get bonus points
All right, we
if the
move
points are
on.
scored by a defenseman.
Okay.
Callahan South.
We
I
got
don't give a-
Chikrin.
I don't give a shit about goalies. I don't care. I don't need points from goalies.
Dallas.
Yeah. All right.
Even though this is Snow the Goalie.
In hindsight, that's a good point. In hindsight, you're right. I panicked.
No, listen. Take the
Look,
San,
the Eagles took
take
Jalen
the
Reagor instead of Justin
SanFilippo.
Jefferson.
Take the SanFilippo route. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Nice.
Not going to say you're right, but you're not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who just got taken?
I'm not giving you guys any hints.
I can't
All
see.
right, here we go.
I can't tell.
Gold Ropers.
I'll go look.
Okay.
Is it the last one?
It's right above
Blues,
Petrangelo.
Robert Thomas.
All right, Robert Thomas got. Oh, I had to do this. Hold on. All right, watch this. Technology,
Good player.
baby.
Right above Petrangelo.
Hold on.
They're going to cause Winnipeg a lot of problems. And,
Bundy just got in the way.
a lot of people don't know. We talk about players.
Above
coaches
Petrangelo.
in
Yeah.
National Hockey, your former Flyer coaches.
Was that?
You got Rick Talk in Vancouver.
Is
You
that
got
Rupert?
Rod Brindamore in Carolina. You got Craig Berube.
They have the pick is currently covered. I can't tell.
Nobody realizes that Jimmy Montgomery.
All right,
the head
we're getting a
coach of
story.
the Washington- I mean, the head
Coatsy
coach of
story.
The St. Louis Blues played for the Flyers for a very short period of time.
Somebody asked when was Ovechkin taken in the draft? First round, 12th overall. 2 points after we took Braden Point.
Jimmy Montgomery,
Ovechkin got
now head
taken.
coach of the St. Louis
So-
Blues.
That was Ovechkin scored. Oh, scores!
Did we get an assist from Chikrin?
Oh, it's down there.
Did they go
Assist from
over
Chikrin?
pick?
I'm asking, did
They
he?
look pretty excited over there. I mean, hand clasp
I
and all
don't think
that
so. Looked like
bullshit.
another classic
isn't
Ovechkin
working.
goal.
Okay.
From the office?
Saw, yeah, right in his office. Saw, went through a maze of bodies.
Hot dang.
Alumni.
Good for him. Now, if this goes long, who? Pionk. Pionk from the Jets. All right, I think that says. Hold on, intern. I'll find out for you. I feel like an old man. Hey. Let's see. It is.
River Rock Academy.
Is that Hints?
Rupe Hintz.
Yeah,
That makes
Hints
sense.
was the pick that we were missing.
Now.
Okay. Just want to make sure because I don't want to send Bundy up there out to dry.
Yeah, we can't do that.
That'd be
We don't want to embarrass Bundy. Now, in fairness, anybody who would shit on Bundy deserves whatever's coming to them.
That's right.
Anybody smack talks Bundy.
Take your time.
We don't
You're
stand
doing
for
all
that.
night as far as time's concerned.
I still think we should take a look. Is he still available in Winnipeg?
Who's your boy? What's his name?
I follow.
I follow.
He's available.
I'll bet we don't get to him again.
You know what? There's a chance.
I follow 15 and 16.
Yeah.
I still really like Warren Fogle.
He's still available.
Jared
Yeah.
Fogle?
It's still not Jared. Stop saying Jared Fogle.
Well, we have one of those two picks available. I don't think they're going to be there.
I like Byfield. I like Fogle. I like follow. And if you want to take, you said Gord is playing with who's Gord on the line with
Yanni Gord is with Point and
Kucherov. Okay.
There are accusations of performance-enhancing drugs by Ovechkin in the comments here, Bundy.
That he's on them.
INS says, Ovi magically reversed a 4-year decline in stats. Truly incredible. I mean, he doesn't come from a place rampant with a history of trying to subvert supplement rules or anything.
He's on the Russian gas.
Ugh. Eric Berkey's here. Says, hi all. Didn't know this was going on. Saw it on X. Welcome. Welcome here. Timeout says, Kings player, be smart. Skinner, what does that say? Skinner and net?
Brett Howden.
Mike Butts asks, are you the only guys actually studying this? Yes, we are. We're putting
I would
effort in.
say yes.
There's the guys who are wearing full suits. Are they here this year? Remember last year there was the team of guys, they were in full
We move
suits.
on.
They were the best
Vaguely.
dressed.
Ace A.
From the Toronto Maple Leafs, Bobby McMahon.
There goes McMahon.
Vince McMahon. No chance. So that's what.
Speaking of McMahon, I thought the WrestleMania last night was awful.
I did too.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay, let's have a little WrestleMania talk.
Travis
the
Scott.
triple match the night before was awesome.
Punk Rollins.
It was great.
and
The
Rollins.
women's triple match on night 2 was unbelievable.
Io Sky, Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
Bianca
it was
Belair.
unbelievable.
Great stuff.
The final match last night sucked.
Balls.
It was terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Well, you know the problem is.
No, I don't.
Allow me.
I'll have to sleep on that one.
So you know The Rock has been involved a
Yeah.
little bit. Okay?
Has he?
Well, The
Well,
Rock.
where was
no
The
one really
The Rock-
knows, do
well,
they?
that's the thing. So The Rock was involved in this whole thing, an elimination chamber, the heel turn heard round the world.
Yes.
And then he didn't appear on TV the rest of the time. They barely mentioned him. But Travis Scott gets a very long entrance, and Travis Scott shows up last night. The Rock is not there. It just felt very underwhelming. I watched it this morning. So I watched it last night, and then I told my sons they could watch it this morning before they go to school because they wanted to see if John Cena wins. And I said, well, guys, just so you know, The Rock doesn't show up. And my wife also fell asleep, so she didn't know who won. And she's like, oh, okay. And the boys are like, oh, well, then clearly Cody Rhodes won. And I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm not telling you, but you can watch. Now, my boys don't care that John Cena's a heel. They want to see John Cena win. They watch it. They erupt off the couch that John Cena wins. Just like the people in Las Vegas erupted. They booed the hell out of Cody Rhodes. Good.
Wait, why were they booing Cody Rhodes?
Well, WrestleMania is often viewed as a casual fan audience, and people like to go see the notable names. There was the famous double turn with The Rock and Hulk Hogan at Mania.
Right.
I would also argue that Cody Rhodes had a very underwhelming run as champion for over a year.
Okay.
Very underwhelming. And that he's probably better suited to be heel, and we'll see if he shows up as a heel.
I mean, babyface Cody Rhodes when he's holding the belt, and then he was like, was gonna attack Cena with it, and he was like, "Oh no, I just can't. I'm too good of a person."
Yeah,
I
Like,
will tell
just
you,
spare me that.
I will tell you the most I laughed last night was when Orton gave that smiling guy the RKO twice.
Oh,
Yes.
Joe Hendry.
That was
Say
the
his
best.
name and
That
he
guy was smiling
appears.
and everything. He
The
was so
TNA
happy.
World Champion.
Yeah.
Love that.
How do they bring a guy in from another league and just destroy him in 3 minutes?
Well, it's the partnership that they have with TNA.
How was the? I didn't watch the whole thing. How was the Styles Paul match?
Not good.
No?
No.
It's too bad.
I actually hope AJ Styles goes over to AEW for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I mean he's bulked up. He's not the high flyer he once was, but I don't know. We'll see.
Is he still doing the phenomenal forearm?
He does do the phenomenal
Okay.
forearm. Yeah.
Just my name and
You almost got a phenomenal forearm when you were complaining about having to set up the tripod over here earlier. I was ready to springboard off the edge of the couch here, but you know,
Uh-huh.
thankfully that did not happen.
St. Louis.
East Coast Taffy says pro wrestling is peak cringe. I think anybody saying peak cringe would also qualify as peak cringe. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just dropping shit all over. Other than that, I'm doing fine.
Minnesota Wild, Matt Boldy.
Matt Bolden? Yeah, Bolden. Yeah.
Coach, he doesn't know.
Foley. I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
It's hard to. I've always looked at this. It's hard to score points.
Well, you're
from
going to
the bench.
enjoy rolling doobies when you're living in a van down by the river. You don't even know what that is, do you?
It's
I know,
is it Farley?
I know.
Okay.
But how
Yeah,
many
okay.
points can you
When
get
he
in
jumps through
4
the table?
games?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
falls through. Yeah. He's great. East Coast with a very good point
All
here.
right, here we go.
I said peak cringe, which makes that peak cringe.
That's
It is a never-ending.
He gave you the reverse Uno.
It's pretty good. All right, we need to make a pick, I guess. We're coming up.
Well, all of Bundy's guys are still left as of now.
He's got great guys, that Bundy. Bundy, who's your guy? Who do you want?
I'm going to go with Yanni
I
Gord.
gotta put it out.
I thought Yanni Gord was taken.
This is
No.
your second time out, right?
You really want Yanni Gord?
I'll double check, but
Who the
no.
fuck is taking a timeout and why?
He plays with Kucherov and he plays with.
Because it's you, I'm
points.
gonna let
Okay.
it happen.
Well, yeah, let's take him. Yanni Gord.
Yeah, then we'll have two line mates on our team.
Good.
That's good chemistry, right
Love
there.
that.
Good locker room chemistry for
Oh,
us.
good chemistry. Unlike JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. I'm
Where's
telling-
Anthony?
Where's Anthony?
Yeah.
At a board meeting.
Oh, he is.
I don't lob grenades at Anthony when he's not here.
No, definitely not.
Anthony sent a picture over the weekend. I think was Anthony the one who sent the picture? Or was it you?
No,
It
Bundy,
was me, yeah.
Bundy
It was
sent
you.
You're not going to give Bundy a hard time. are you?
No, of course not.
That's the
I
first time
know-
we've ever awarded a
I
second
know
timeout.
the size disparity here. No. There's a beautiful picture of Anthony along with intern Andrew and Bundy down at the Players Club of Swarthmore after watching a Rock of Ages show that was directed by none other than young Anthony SanFilippo. Bundy, you had some nice words for a member of the Henry family after that show.
Andrew's mother was by far the best singer. Nothing against anyone else. I thought they were all good, but she changed the whole thing when she sang. She just blew the roof right off the joint.
Really?
Yeah, very angelic, like kind of loud voice, but very, very good.
What was
I
it?
don't say that either. If she sucked, I'd tell him. Like if she was up there and she sang, I'm like, oh shit, man, she needs a new profession. I would tell you. I wouldn't hold back.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
no problem. at
No,
all.
I don't
Yeah.
want you to lie to me.
No, I would never. But she was amazing, amazing singer.
She's good. Yeah,
Yeah, really good.
better than me.
Well, let me ask you. So your mom is a good singer, on the better side of good singer. What was it like to grow up in a house with the good singer?
They just sang all the
Alright.
time.
Who's they? Are there more people in your house that sing?
My sister's a pretty good singer also.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Where does she stack up compared to your mom on the singing scale?
Worse, but not by much.
Nicholas Ehlers.
All right. Okay.
I think my mom's a little bit better.
His
than
name's Nikolai,
Galen.
but not Nicholas. But okay.
LVL alumni.
Who? What?
A lot of Whitney Houston in my house growing up.
Do you want to break into it or no? All right. Now listen. Landeskog is going to be in the lineup for Colorado. That's the expectation tonight. I think that's a good late pick.
Okay.
I get that he hasn't played. I get it. However,
We need a good feel-good story.
if
on
you
our team
think
now.
Colorado is going to go far, you could certainly do worse.
Protest. Okay, we got it.
My only concern: how effective is he going to be?
I don't know. Where's Kurz at?
Go Ropers.
I bring Kurz over here as a.
Guess he went home.
thought. I like the idea of Landeskog. Good feel-good story late in the draft.
Warren Fogle.
Oh, there goes Fogel. All
Warren
right.
Fogle
There goes Jared
from
Fogle.
Tampa Bay.
Kings, excuse me.
Warren Fogle, big winger.
Yeah.
From the Kings. That's exactly right.
Landeskog.
Callahan's.
Tommy Callahan's tires. Where was the town? Ohio.
Which one?
Sandusky, Ohio. Sandusky, Ohio. Big Tommy Callahan.
So I was up driving through Shenandoah this past weekend,
So shut up.
up northern Pennsylvania, and there's a guy whose name he's a plumber or something. His name is Jerry Sadusky. There's no N, but I thought, man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's like just close enough.
You know the Baltimore Ravens radio guy, right?
No,
His name is Jerry Sandusky.
no, it's not.
With a
Our
G.
former head coach.
So when-
Gary.
Our former goaltender.
No, it is Jerry.
He should call himself Gary just to be safe.
He should, but when
That's where you make the move.
when all of those allegations started coming to light, he was like getting death threats because people thought it was him.
Here's Scrooge.
Was Claude Giroux taken yet?
If our picks go, do we want the Winnipeg Alex Iafolo or Tampa Bay's Yanni Gord?
I'd take Yanni Gord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we both agree. We think the Lightning are going to go further than the Jets.
You go with
So
Yanni
just
Gord.
by default, let's take the Gord.
Brian Knowlton, he gets it. This guy knows kielbasa. Asks, did you bring home some Kovalenix? That was the whole point. We did the drive from where we live outside of Philadelphia up to Shendo to Kovalenix.
Yanni Gord.
Yanni Gord. Unless he gets taken here. This is, well, it's 2 picks before
No,
us.
we have a backup.
The Ayatollah of rock and roll, Chris Jericho.
I don't think he's playing.
You don't think so?
I think he's from Winnipeg, actually. He's probably a big Jets
His
fan.
dad played for the Rangers.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Irvin, right? Hold on. Chris
Break the wall down.
Jericho dad was an NHL player. Ted Irvine.
We select Iafallo.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
That's okay.
All right, so we got
From Winnipeg?
Yeah.
So no, we're not.
Well, whatever
Are we?
you want to do. That's what we want to do.
No.
That's what we
No,
got.
more-
there's
one
another
more pick,
pick.
Bundy, one more
You
pick.
better. So listen, if they take Yanni Gord, it has to be Landeskog.
Or we could go Quentin Byfield.
The Ayatollah of Iraq and
Yanni Gord.
Yes.
Rolla. It's not time yet.
Bundy's already walking.
Bundy's going to go break shit.
Hopefully, him walking is not going to jinx this.
He's going to go up there and say, I'll take Yanni Gord. And then whoever picks ahead of us is going to say, oh, Yanni Gord.
I have followed
That's who's just taken. Why are we saying it again?
the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of the Jets, did you see the thing about Aaron Rodgers on McAfee talking about the end of things in New York? That's
Yes.
what I told you that. Rodgers said that he flew across the country to talk to the Jets, and then the new coach was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is going to work."
No, it's not.
Newman
He's
selects from Colorado Ross Colton.
okay.
Okay.
Yanni
So you
Gord.
went Yanni Gord.
I mean, Rodgers at this point in his career is just a liability to whichever team he's on.
I think we go.
He can't move anymore.
I think we go Gord and then Landeskog.
Okay.
Because I want a feel good story, and I want somebody who can maybe contribute. Snow
Snow the goalie, baby.
Stoley the goalie. I'll tell you about Anthony Stolars.
We will take in round 7 Yanni Gord from Tampa Bay.
You see the report, by the way? Stolars didn't practice today.
Yeah, he's rest
Okay.
day.
Okay, never mind.
Hey, nice job. No reaction from the crowd.
Not
Coatsy, what's he?
John Morgan.
Okay. Coatsy stopped. I think he knows. I think he knows we know puck.
Yeah.
I think it occurred to him partway through.
So we have one more pick.
Yeah.
Landeskog.
So we can go Landeskog.
He'll be gone by then.
No, well, if he's there, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I'm okay with going.
Because
for that.
listen,
Certainly a sentimental pick.
It's
Guys
a-
will play hard for him. I like
it's a total crapshoot in the 8th round, like total crapshoot. And you're gonna have to. This is where you end up finding teams that might start drafting like Devils or Canadians, just hoping that somebody's gonna like go on a little bit of a heater. Take somebody that you're pretty sure is gonna go far.
So do you remember who our Mr. Irrelevant was last year?
No.
Because we went heavy on the Oilers. We had McDavid number 1 overall, and we believed that Edmonton correctly was going to go on a long run.
Yeah.
And our Mr. Irrelevant was Corey Perry, who I think had 1 goal the entire postseason.
Yeah.
Morgan selecting Nick Paul, Tampa Bay forward.
It's a good pick.
Nick Paul, hard playing guy. Really came out of nowhere. Nick
So, you know what's funny?
Tampa Bay.
Is this real? Hold on. Please hold.
The tools.
There are people saying that Aaron Nola just gave up his 3rd home run of the game.
Oh my God.
Okay. It might have been foul. I don't know. We're not watching the game. But Chris Fried says Nola gave up his 3rd bomb of the night. I will point out that this morning on the Russ Joy show, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast, somebody said over under on Nola home runs allowed 2.5, and I said always take the over. I didn't think he would actually give up 3.
I only see 2-0 here for the.
Oh, there you go. So somebody just checked in over here. Vacant Alleyways says it was foul.
At 46 innings, 46 pitches thrown in the 3rd inning with no out.
Hey, do you know who loves Aaron Nola?
Who?
Anthony SanFilippo. Loves Nola. Big Nola guy. I don't know if you know this or not. Ant is a big back of the baseball card guy. And he loves him some Aaron Nola. Nola stinks.
He's on vacation somewhere.
He's having a bad year.
No, he's having a
Still
bad
early.
multiple years.
Still early.
He stinks.
Number 2. No, I don't think he can play.
Oh, Aaron Nola, he's got Cy Young stuff.
Suarez, I think, is going to be back in a couple weeks, though. That's
Suarez can't stay healthy. Andrew Painter might be in the rotation by the second
I
half
went
of the
down
season.
to the game Friday night.
How was it?
It was good. It was a great atmosphere down there. I enjoyed it. Yeah, great fans. The team was, had a good win. But to me, they don't feel like they're the team.
No.
Like there's something missing. It feels like.
Bullpen stinks.
Yeah,
They didn't make a signing in the outfield that of any value.
yeah. A couple guys haven't really
Hold on.
progressed.
Yeah,
Marsh-
if
Marsh
they end up
still
playing
isn't-
like the Giants in the wild card round, I think they lose.
Marsh and Rojas, not particularly good, right? That's
Oh God,
Where-
Marsh has been
oh,
horrible.
we got Coatsy on the move. There he goes. Where's he going? Coatsy's walking the floor.
He's moving though.
That's good. You know what? Good. He has a strong gait.
I owe you an apology
Uh-oh.
because I announced all the other guys, Andre, and I am an asshole, okay?
Well, don't say that.
Andre Clutch graduated from Princeton University, played some great years with the Philadelphia Flyers.
Wow. Coatsy with the quote of the night, I am an asshole. Hey, stick taps. Wherever Ant is, let's hope he's doing a stick tap.
Above the table.
Well, Bundy said he's with your mom, right? Or you said he's with your mom. So we hope that the stick taps are above the table.
I'm sure Coates will have a good joke about it if not.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Kaprizov was taken 3 fucking rounds ago. There's a giant screen! Right there! They're going to start chanting asshole instead of shame.
Andre, I just paid you a nice compliment. You went to damn Princeton.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Coatsy.
Holy shit. I told you to go to Yale.
What a mess.
We'll go with Ottawa Senators Tim Stutzy.
Stutzel, but that's okay.
Stutzy?
Stutzler. Guy's a good offensive player. He just won
Stutzler.
So much with Ottawa. Huh? No one's got any belief in Ottawa.
No.
Okay, let's go to the Snider babes.
By the way, they're called the what was their actual name? The Snider Women?
Snider
Women's Team.
Okay.
Snider Women's Team. And Coatsy, very early on, renamed them the Snider Babes. That was cancellation number 1.
Lauren Hart is on that team, by the way.
The penis joke was number 2.
Gabriel Landeskog.
Mother! No.
Oh, he's been hurt.
Damn it.
He starts tonight.
There goes my pick. That's a good pick.
Tell you
All
what,
right.
You're all over it, Mark.
That's a good pick.
Break
Hey,
glass in
hey,
case of emergency. I think
Hey.
we go Quentin Byfield.
No. We make a call, we make a trade. Let's offer up Braden Point for Gabriel Landeskog. Gabriel Landeskog.
Selection in the 7th round. 2 picks in a row. Brand Point, straight shooters. Can you put the 2 minutes up on the...
Oh my god.
This is not good.
Boo!
Boo!
Guys, we might have to take Scott Lawton.
I might whip this at your head.
Just saying.
Scott Lott.
How about Claude Giroux?
We're out of players.
Lawton, as
Drew, I don't
listen.
I just don't think Ottawa's going to be around.
As bad of a pick as I think Lawton would be, I'm actually not opposed to it.
Maybe Riley Smith. I think he's available.
Third line in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, we're running on empty here. Everyone
Yeah,
can
there's
take
always a couple. We only have one more pick, so we'll find something.
I'm going to run to the banyo.
Okay.
Find a guy in the first or second line that hasn't been taken and is playing with good players.
Yeah. Iafallo got taken. God, who the hell is left? Mason Appleton, Nemesnikov. I think Niederreiter is available. Lowry. Who are Riley Smith's line mates in Vegas?
I'll have to find him here. Hold on. William Karlsson and Victor Olofsson.
Okay.
35 seconds, yeah. I didn't know you had a stopwatch with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Quentin Byfield far and away is the best scorer available. I don't know if he's in LA. We don't have the King, right?
No.
No, I don't think we do. Byfield. Do we want to stay away from Florida?
Yeah.
Who?
And we have a very interesting pick. Oh, my team would like us to call 2 minutes on the clock. Sorry.
Did you try to take Stewart's?
They have 2 picks, so they took Jeff Skinner.
Oh, Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Okay.
And they have another pick. They need another 2 minutes.
We're ready to the beginning of our 8th round. Okay. So, I'm going to give you the spelling. Much sure all Canadians. His name is Demidov.
Oh, there goes Demidov.
D-E-M.
Ivan Demidov.
O-V. Demidov. He's our dark horse, folks. There you go. Haley's all over it. Haley, you're awesome. She's all over it. Let's go on to the Snider babes.
You don't think Russ is pooping, do you?
I don't know. Wasn't really on the top of my mind.
For the Snider babes, for our last pick from the Edmonton Oilers, we're going to take Victor Arvidsson.
Victor Arvidsson. Very, very good. Veteran, hardcore veteran, played with the National Predators.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should look into the Oilers.
We now move on to Florida Copperings International.
Who's available for
Hey,
Edmonton?
Andre, how did your team take the wrong guy? Oh, it was his pick? Okay. Yeah, throw him under the bus.
All right, we're gonna go with Winnipeg. What's Nemestikov's first name?
Vladislav.
What is it? B what?
Who? Gary Ledman?
Coach, you can't hear anything.
Nemestikov for Winnipeg. What's his first name? This
Vladimir.
No, it's absolutely not Vladimir.
Listening to somebody mispronounce Demidov makes me want to punch a wall.
I think there should be a new rule next year that you have to
Question.
pronounce the name.
We don't need another defenseman, right? And we don't believe in Minnesota, right?
Coach,
Good try, though.
no. Coach is trying to correct people on pronunciations and then got it wrong himself.
He's been saying Snowy the goalie all night.
He thinks it's Vladimir Nemesnikov. It's Vladislav.
Vladislav. What do you know about this Slav?
Who are we looking at here?
The big Swede, Victor Olofsson.
I think far and away,
Thomas Harley get picked?
I don't think so.
Not Harley Davidson.
I mean, I like Byfield and Riley Smith personally.
Is there another Washington Capital you like?
Protest, McMichael, Chikrin, Andrew Mangiapane is the best available capital.
Who plays with Ovechkin?
All right, Coach. With our 8th and final pick, the Tools choose from the Dallas Stars center, Mikhail Granlund.
Yeah, Granlund is a good
Michael
pick.
Granlund
Here's a question. Is there a star that's worth
Granlund
taking?
to the Tools.
Has Pierre-Luc Dubois been taken?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Not John Morgan.
Hold on.
I'm looking at the Stars right now.
Okay. Rantanen was taken.
We have
Shane.
Colorado.
Was
We don't want
Wyatt
'cause some-
Johnston-
We
was
don't
Wyatt
want
Johnston
anybody
taken?
that's playing an opposite of somebody.
Was Wyatt Johnston taken?
Yes.
When?
A long time ago.
Okay.
So you want to stay away from Dallas then?
Yes.
I would say let's just take a chance on either Byfield or Riley Smith.
If you change your mind. Who'd you say? Byfield?
Yeah.
Quentin Byfield? Or who?
Riley Smith.
Hold on. I have a
I
question.
mean, Byfield I think he's the only 50-point
He
scorer.
left. Byfield left Monday's game versus Edmonton with an upper body injury.
He's hurt.
Did not return.
He's hurt.
Well, that's annoying.
And who's the other name?
Riley Smith.
Nah, he's a third liner there. Let me see who else we got.
Yeah, but Vegas. I mean, if Vegas goes far.
Not John Morgan. Proud to select with our last pick here. Wow, am I going to butcher this name? LA King forward, Kuzmenko. Andre Kuzmenko.
He played for your fucking team this year.
Who the Flyers are
I'm
trading for Fairby
I'm
and
gonna
Ross.
butcher the name. It's Andre Kuzmenko. He played
We're
here.
Up. We're up.
I mean, if you don't like Riley Smith, there's Lawton.
Andre Kuzmenko.
Do we take Lawton as the sentimental pick?
Just for fun.
Well, Toronto.
We're out of people, so
Well, we're not out of people. How about Philip Deneau in LA?
I think he is available too.
Toronto's gonna go farther though. Fuck
Snowy
it.
the goalie, their
Take
last
Lawton.
pick.
Take Scott Lawton. The Flyers took 3 years to trade him. We'll
And now
take
he's
him.
back. That's right back where he belongs.
This one's for you, Steve.
Okay.
We're going to take Scott Lawton.
All right. Yeah.
What a team. We got our leadership now.
See, Bundy gets
Good in the room. We're good in the room. That's leadership.
He's back
The
home.
only guy got traded could move into his house when he got home.
That's leadership. I'll tell you what, culture is not going to be a problem with the Snow the Goalie team.
A real character guy that we missed.
Good character. So, all right.
Hello.
With that, we're done.
Yes, we are.
I'd feel okay about wrapping.
All right, so let's just recap who we have now. So I can't remember.
I got our team here. I can read them for you. So our first round pick was Braden Point.
Yes.
Second round was Thomas Hurdle.
Yep.
We took the Washington goalies in round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Chikrin in round 4. Jack Roslovic in round 5. Jackson Blake in round 6.
Philadelphia Flyers.
Yanni Gord in round 7 and Scotty Lawton in round 8.
Okay.
I like it.
We have a team mostly comprised of guys that we think are going to go deep into the playoffs. We're not going to have that many guys that are going to really rack up the points. Point will, probably. We don't have a lot of guys that are super, super high-end scorers, but they're going to be there, and in the entirety, they may do well.
Yeah, I think the way we picked our team was that we went with the feeling of teams that we thought were going to have a run. I think it helped to having a couple teams are up 1-0 in the series, but guaranteed some of the teams are up 1-0 will lose the series.
Correct.
It's only 68% that go on to win when teams that are up 1-0 in the series. So
only 68%.
Yeah,
it's impressive. Hey, good pull by you.
Thank you.
Really quick before we head out of here, I'm just double checking what we had. Oh, so we talked about the coaches. We talked about coach stuff earlier. Tocchet's option not being picked up. It kind of goes without saying, but the offseason coming up is very important. We will be covering it. The draft lottery, I believe, happens in the beginning of May. I think it's like May.
I don't know if they said it officially yet, but
No,
it's probably going to be May 5th or May 6th.
Yeah, which is
Pretty good player.
a meaningful day because my
That's
wife.
huge.
Well, Cinco de Mayo would be a great day. I'll have a celebratory marg if they.
Well, let me ask you this question. Because you were famously on the Russ Joy show very, very confident in the Eagles going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Are you more nervous about this lottery than you were the Super Bowl?
No.
No?
Well, yeah, I had no nerves going into this last Super Bowl. I knew the Eagles were going to win by double digits.
I don't know about you, but I want to get my car before 50 people get their valet.
That's a great point. And on that bombshell, it's time for us to end. Thank you so very much for watching, maybe even listening to Snow the Goalie. The Only Flyers podcast will be back probably next week to break down the upcoming offseason. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to all of you soon.